I want to talk about the term dry beard. And I want to go over this because I believe there are people out there that think they have a problem with their beard just based on the name of that term. When in reality, they don't really have any problem. It's very normal, but it can be a little bit misleading because I don't think it's a fair name when people are trying to describe their problems and they say a dry beard. Now you may be like, damn, what are you talking about? What sense does this make? I promise I will break it all down, and I do think this video will help many people. But first, I should establish who I am first. My name is Dan C. Bearded, and I do want to say thank you for checking this video out. This channel is all about beards, having the best beard possible. If that sounds good to you guys, please hit a thumbs up on the YouTube video right now. Just take a split second. And if you're new here, consider subscribing if you're like, okay, I think I'll like this, or maybe it's even helpful for you. And shout out to those returning subscribers. Okay, let's start off with the common use of the term dry beard. When somebody is accurately describing an issue and they have a dry beard, it is normally referring to a couple of different things kind of all put together. And that would be with the skin and the beard hairs themselves. If someone says I have a dry beard, their beard hair they are probably describing as brittle. It can feel like a bird's nest or like hay. It just does not have a good feel to it. And then the skin underneath it almost always goes right along with that. And it may be itchy. It may feel actually physically dry to the point where maybe there's beard drift or beard dandruff. Maybe it's even a little bit painful. All of those things would incorporate someone saying, oh man, I have a dry beard problem. Now, we get that. Everyone's like, yeah, duh, Dan, of course. What if you took a step outside of the community? What if you took a step outside of understanding beard care and you just looked at that name and someone said, I have a dry beard? Many people would take that as just dry to the touch, right? If someone were to touch my beard right now and they didn't know really anything about this beard community or beard care, and I were to say, hey, do I have a dry beard? They would go like this and they would say, yeah, there's absolutely no oil, there's no grease, there's no water. Your beard is physically dry. And it is. My beard is not wet right now. There's nothing about my beard other than dry on the surface. And we could say that, and maybe somebody thinks and they hear someone say, oh man, I've got a dry beard. And they're like, I have a dry beard. Is that an issue? Is that a problem? And we get some confusion there. Having your beard be physically dry to the touch is not a problem. It is normal. And for me, it kind of comes down to personal preference. It is preferred, right? Some people do like their beards to be shining in the light, have that little glisten on it, and get that, I call it looking like a disco ball. That's great. There are certain ingredients and certain products we can go to achieve that. For me, I like more of that matte look. I like more of a dry look. So I have had people reach out to me and say, hey, Dan, my beard is dry. What can I do to fix it? And then the issue is I got to play that back and forth game of saying, well, what do you mean by dry? Can you share with me what the problems are? And sometimes they're like, it's itchy, there's beard drift. And I'm like, aha, I got you. I've got some videos, I got some advice, we're good. And then other people are like, well, I've just heard the term and my beard is always dry and I feel like I'm wrong. No, you're not wrong at all. And that's why we get kind of limited in these terms, especially with this being a really young and new industry. Sometimes maybe the precedent that we set to describe something isn't always the best. And I don't think it's wrong to look at these terms and break them down. Some people are going to say, hey man, that's looking too deep. You're getting way too detailed. You're worrying about things that don't matter. But for me, it does matter. If it helps somebody out and they can understand what is normal and what is not, that's fantastic, because there's a lot of people that don't know much about growing a beard. They want to try it out for the first time and they want to do it right. They want to have the best beard possible. I do believe the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And there's a lot of people that take this seriously and want to do it the right way. So to kind of wrap this up here, just know that a beard that is physically dry to the touch is not a problem. The problem come in with the symptoms, with that beard drift, with the itch. And I don't know if there's a better term for it. I don't know if we're gonna be able to change the industry or anything like that, but I am curious. If you guys could come up with a better description of those negative symptoms rather than dry beard, what would you come up with? It's got to be something that's quick. It's got to be snappy, easy to deliver. I don't have an answer. I don't have a thought, but I do think that you guys will come up with some. It's just like for me, I made a video. I'm not a fan of the term business beard, which oftentimes lends itself to a short beard that wraps to the face. I don't think that's a good term because I believe my beard can be a business beard. I am a businessman. I fully consider myself that, and it's never held me back. It's never held others. And yes, it's generational, it's situational. I get it, but I don't like associating a certain length of beard with a type of profession. That's not cool with me. This is one where it's like, maybe there is a better term out there. Maybe we can get it started and have a more accurate description that would help people. And then beyond that, guys, let me know your thoughts. Has this been something you've thought of? Is it something where you're like, whoa, light bulb, I never considered that. Maybe I'll adjust how I'm talking. And of course, do you guys have any questions? I would love to answer every single one of them. Thank you for watching today, you guys. I hope it was just a little bit of food for thought. If you got those brain cells going and thinking, that's a positive for me. Please, speaking of that, stay bearded and stay positive.